Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Cameron. Happy New Year. Happy 2019. It's going to be a big year. And for this video, I do have a link in the description, a PDF of everything that I'm talking about so that you can take this with you and use this for logical questions when you're talking to people. Jehovah's Witnesses in particular, or even Christians. So if you're new to the channel and you don't know anything, I was born and raised as one of Jehovah's Witnesses and was forced by the leadership and the rest of the members to not celebrate anything. Jehovah's Witnesses is the religion of no. So holidays and New Year's was one of them. The only holiday that we were allowed to celebrate was the memorial, the yearly memorial to celebrate and commemorate Jesus' death. So I've got some reasons here on my notes. The number one reason why Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate anything is because of pagan origins. They demonize pagans, and if it doesn't have a Bible or Christian origin, they won't celebrate it. And as always in videos that I say like this, if you were to ask a Jehovah's Witness what is a pagan, actually they won't be able to tell you because they're not taught what a pagan is. It's the utmost teaching of intolerance at the highest level. That's what it is. They use many scriptures, for example, like 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 17, where it's talking about not even having anything to do with other people that don't believe the same. This is also another sign of intolerance from the Bible, which is interesting because Jesus taught the opposite. He hung out with drunkards, tax collectors, and people that were considered bad association. Here's why it's okay to celebrate New Year's. Jehovah's Witnesses do a lot of things that are pagan, and they're not even aware of it because their leadership doesn't educate them. I have a video actually of practices that Jehovah's Witnesses do that are pagan linked in the description and at the end of this video that you can click on and watch that have all pagan origins. But here are a few more that I haven't really talked about. Calendar months, dates, days of the week, they all have, usually in particular, Greek names from different gods, and you don't see them coming up with their new calendar or trying to fix that. Oh, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. To be honest, there's not a lot you can do about that. Makeup, which is interesting, and especially women. The Bible, it supposedly focuses on the inner beauty of someone more than the outer beauty of someone. But it does condemn braiding women's hair, wearing jewelry, expensive clothing in 1 Timothy chapter 2. JW.org, I found an interesting article on the website. It says this is not contradictory. However, the Bible for 2 Timothy is in the whole second chapter of 1 Timothy is instructions of worship. 1 Timothy chapter 2 verses 8 through 15, it also states that women, get this, should be in full submission to their man, never teach anything to men, must be quiet to their man, and then it blames Adam and Eve's situation on Eve, which doesn't fully make sense because in that verse it also says that she was fully deceived. And women's only saving grace is by giving birth to a lot of children. Sounds a bit sexist and misogynistic. As Jezebel was known for wearing a lot of eyeshadow and makeup, they're a bit controlling on what women wear and what women put on their face, and even men, you know, with their clothing being too tight, because if their clothes too tight, then they're supporting the homosexuals in the clothing industry and the fashion world. None of that makes sense, and it's all just subtly teaching hate, but they're disguising it and masking it as God's love, doing things that make God happy. Because God cares about, you know, what you dress and put on your face versus, you know, fixing the universe. I'll link that article in the description below. And then the next reason is I don't believe in the Bible anymore. It contradicts itself every second. I received a comment from Matt Den on one of my videos where I was asking JW's hard questions. And he said that something that I've thought about and has bothered me for a long time. I remember being in the Kingdom Hall and going, that doesn't really make sense when a circuit overseer was visiting our congregation bringing it up, and he wouldn't say all the details for sparing the children. And this always bothered me. When Sodom and Gomorrah was happening, why did Lot's wife turn into a pillar of salt for looking back at what they had lost because they were running away from their home because God was telling them to escape the city? Later on after that, surviving that, Lot and his daughters, it was okay for them to get dad extremely drunk and incestually rape him repeatedly. This can be found in Genesis chapter 19, 30 through 38. It jumps right into the ancestral rape, or the chapter before that, and the ones before that, it goes over Sodom and Gomorrah and them running away, and Lot's wife turning into a pillar of salt just for looking back at the home that they were losing. So these are just a few examples, some things that I haven't talked about before. I thought it was interesting that I would share with you guys. And I think it's up to you, whatever you do, whether you're a current believer in the Bible or you don't believe in the Bible anymore. It really is up to you. It's a celebration for people to get together and start fresh in a new year. Although I personally am not a big believer in New Year's resolutions and waiting for a new year to start things over. I do feel like 2019 is going to be a great freaking year. A lot of hard work, a lot of personal growth and development. Ever since I left the Jehovah's Witnesses it's been a little over 2 years now, I have completely changed. I had a conversation with my roommates a little while ago, and they're like, man, if people knew you a year and a half ago, they wouldn't even recognize you now. Like, I'm still me, but I'm completely different. If you guys are on Instagram, go ahead, follow me at Kameron Fader. Hit the subscribe button if you aren't already so we can stay in contact. Make sure to hit that bell notification so that way it alerts you every time I upload a new video. Otherwise, YouTube's algorithm kind of misses some every once in a while. Leave a comment if you want to elaborate on anything that I've said. Make sure, again, check out the PDF download section so you can get that free PDF. It is an exchange for an email sign up. Will actually be for two things: a sign up for an upcoming activist website that I'm working on, and second, we'll actually have a brief 3-question survey about what you would like to see, and I have actually some questions about some swag that we might be able to do and produce with the help of you guys to be proud of ourselves as ex-JWs, because we made it out. We're out of a cult. We can move on with our lives now. It's a process and it's going to take years, but we need to be proud that we made it out alive. And I'm really excited to get your opinion on that. And also, my Patreon is coming this year. I've been waiting so long. Until then, brothers and sisters, I hope you have a great start to your year. I hope you had a great New Year's Eve and a great New Year's Eve party. And I will see you in the next video.